Hey everyone, what's up? So I'm going to share something kind of interesting today. I mentioned this in a previous video that I'm doing a kind of low-end woodpecker method product really for everyone in Chess Bootcamp. And I thought I'd just give you a little demo of exactly how it works. So I'm not signed into Lichess here. Okay, because if I'm signed in, then it gives me lots of options to edit and stuff like that. But I want to show you how you would experience it as a not signed in user. Of course, you can always open it up just in an incognito window as well. So what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to show you my discovered attacks collection as far as it goes right now. Okay, so I've got three different studies. So I've got an easy one, a medium one, and a harder one. And we'll just go through all of the examples, and then I'll show you how I make it, so you can make your own. Okay, so literally, I'm just going to refresh it. Okay, and the way that I do it is I show your opponent's previous move, and what you've got to do is you've got to find the right approach here. Okay, so we've got 9, I think, in the easy collection. Okay, and it's all about discovered attacks. So the obviously we've got a discovered check here, which is great. And then you say to yourself, well, can I move the piece that's in the way somewhere dangerous? Okay, so clearly it's bishop to g5 here. Okay, and here it's also got comments on the side. Great, white only has one way to block the check and the attack on the queen, but you know that's to put the queen in the way basically. Still loses the queen, so that's it. And then you just hit next chapter. Okay, here's another one. Okay, we've got a threat against the queen. Yeah, this is actually fairly straightforward. So basically, this is a double attack because there's a discovery against the bishop as well. So in fact, the best move here is just to capture with the bishop, because if I'd, for example, captured with a rook, I lose that bishop. Yeah, so pretty straightforward. And then you hit next chapter, and if you want to, you can analyze as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm finding moves that I've checked with the engine are the best move, because I've got a massive collection of positions from loads of games over the years that I've been analyzing, and sometimes there's like a cool move, but they're actually better moves according to the engine. But generally what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find, you know, the move, the correct move is always going to be the engine's #1 recommendation. Okay, so question is free stuff, and basically we can grab that pawn, because even though it is defended by the knight, it comes with a double attack from bishop and queen there. Okay, so if they take, we take, we just win a pawn, and it's an important pawn, it's a central pawn. Okay, what would you play in this position? Discovered attacks, huh? And, ooh, there's a get a hint thing as well. Look for a double attack, okay. So, oh, yeah, there we go, look. Push this pawn forward, hits this knight, and that's the discovery. Okay, there you go. Great, you found the double threat. Okay, so you can see the idea with this, and the idea with the woodpecker method, is that you drill and drill and drill and drill. So although I've only got 9 examples so far built up in this set on the relatively easy ones, if you go over these 9, eventually I'll build it up to 100, right? So imagine 100 discoveries, and you want to do it, hit it, and drill it and drill it and drill it until you get it right, like every time. Okay, this is this is great. You can get the hint. Okay, in the game, white played knight to d4. Okay, which is not ridiculous. I mean, there's a discovery against this bishop, but it's very similar to the last one. I think you can grab this pawn for free, because if they capture, you can recapture there. Okay, knight to d4 doesn't work because if they capture our knight, we take the bishop. It's defended by that knight. That's the problem. Okay. So that's the right move. This is great. I mean, I made these, and I'm having to look at it. This is the point. But you want to drill your pattern recognition over and over. Okay, so the pawn's just moved here. So I think it's the same thing. We've got discovery against the queen. There we go. Okay, having a potential discovery so often comes with the option to grab material for free, says the question setter. All right, so this is a discovered attack against our knight, but we don't have to do anything about it because the knight guards that f2 square, and we get a fork. So that was a bad discovery. This is great. Okay, I like this one. So they've come in threatening mate. So the mate would be, if the queen gets to go there, king goes here, queen there is mate, yeah? Very common pattern. And how do we prevent it? We've got the very nice knight to e4, sorry, e5 check, and a discovery against the queen. And now it's black. Black is the one with his head in his hands, okay? And the final one of the easy set. What would we do here? Well, I see that discovery there. The knight's actually pinned. But this is nice because it hits the queen and also adds a second attacker onto this bishop as well. So there we go, winning material. And there we go. So they were the easy ones. Okay, so let's look at the medium range. Okay, pawn comes up here. And okay, so always looking at the last move. Okay, what has changed here? Well, this pawn was blocking this pawn, and now again we have bang, delivering check and a discovery on her match. Good stuff. Okay, they've come up here. So this pawn's actually pinned, this guy here, so he's not defending this. So this pawn is defended twice. But note, this knight is not defended. So if you use the goldfish method, right, just pay attention to what's not defended on the board. So actually now, again, free pawn. We're attacking the bishop and attacking the knight. Okay, I notice the queen hangs here. Okay, and this is set up a winning discovered attack. We could, for example, knight there, taking the pawn doesn't work because queen takes, right? So what we want to do is we want to move this knight, but with check. Okay, so the point is, move the rook across. Okay, and this move is now forced, and now this comes with check, and we win the queen. So we actually went over all this set in on my Chess Bootcamp Live session this week. Okay, what would we play in this position? And the other interesting thing as well is that what we're doing is we're mixing up the kind of offensive and defensive side. So this is a defensive problem. Okay, so basically we are now on the receiving end of a discovery. Bishop's looking at the b2 pawn, and thereafter the rook behind it, which is stuck, it can't move. So there's a few things that could be done. For example, I mean, moving the pawn obviously doesn't work. Blocking with the bishop doesn't work because we lose the bishop. So what we have to do is knight there. Now this is actually a very strong piece. So black shouldn't trade off that bishop for that knight. Absolutely shouldn't. Okay. And by the same token, we've also freed up the rook, which is pretty cool. Okay. And here again, we are under attack. And there's no hint here. So the knight attacks our bishop and the rook attacks our queen. Can we check? Interesting one. How do we get out of this? Oh, we can't, basically. What you need to do is you need to defend the bishop with the queen. So currently the queen's under attack, so the queen has to move. Okay, the bishop is also under attack, but the bishop is also undefended. Therefore, the only solution is move the queen and defend the bishop. And there are a few squares where the queen could go that defend the bishop. But obviously, the d file is out because there's a rook on it. And if we go to any of these squares, then the other rook could come over, skewer the queen, and then win the bishop. Therefore, this has to be the best move. It's a process of elimination. Okay, this is a very kind of subtle one. So black's just moved their pawn forward. They're threatening to cause a bit of damage here. Okay, and but the pawn move has also opened up a discovery against the bishop. So if we just like move the bishop out the way, then we could end up losing a pawn, for example. And then, this guy becomes a real threat. So what you have to do here is trade off the piece first, okay? And then you can capture the pawn on your own terms, but most importantly, holding the c3 pawn where it is. Okay, you've got 4 or 5 more here. Yeah, this is a beauty. And by the way, these are all from real games. This is the point, right? These haven't been set by a professional chess problem, composer. These are all from nearly all my own games over the years. Okay, so we've got a very interesting situation. We've got a bishop lined up and the rook lined up against my bishop, okay? But then my rook's looking at there and there's just a pawn in between. So the key here is that pawn to c5 comes with check, and then we have an overwhelm on this bishop. Now, if that king wasn't on that square and it didn't come with check, then it would be us actually on the receiving end of the double attack of the overwhelm on the bishop. But fortunately, that move comes with check. So here we go. Okay. Again, these are all relatively fresh in my mind. So it looks as though white's causing us some real trouble here. We are actually up a piece, but down a couple of pawns. So it's quite even. White's got this nice paired rooks on there. And what they think they're doing is they've got now an overwhelmed discovery against our rook on d8. And they're also attacking our bishop, and our king is the only defender of both. But there's a problem. So, for example, we could take the bishop, but if we do, we lose the rook outright because it's protected by its buddy. Okay. However, we have a way out, and again, it comes down to the check. Right? It's completely forcing. You have to respond. We take the rook, we give check, and then once they recapture, we win the bishop outright and go on to win the game. Okay, final 4. Oh, that wasn't a very good move, was it? At all. Okay. I mean, that... It has to be the move, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right, so, yeah, it's a discovery against our rook. But this, again, this one comes with check, and then on the next move, for example, we can push the pawn forward and block this attack. They have to get out of check first. Good stuff. All right. Okay, so here we go. We've got a potential battery lined up against this bishop, but it's defended twice. Okay, so 2 attackers, 2 defenders, but we can eliminate one of the defenders. And there you go. And now we have 3 attackers on here, and if the queen takes our knight, we win the bishop. There you go. Okay, or if bishop takes bishop, we recapture, and then our knight is defended. Okay, nice one, that one. Last couple in the medium set. Okay, so this is good, and this is a great example of responding to attacks. You know, I go on a lot about that there are so many different ways to respond to attacks. So here, white appears to be doing the exact right thing, which is attacking the pinned piece. So the knight is pinned against the queen by the rook, and white is now attacking the knight with a pawn, but we can get out of it with knight f3 check. Because the other interesting thing is, so yeah, we have a fork on the rook, but now if the queen takes there, the queen undefends the rook. That's the point. So it's actually a combination of things. This is a deflection. We are deflecting the queen away from the defense of the rook. Okay, and one more. So I noticed the queen's undefended here, so it has to be this, right? Because, again, comes with check, we win the queen. Yeah, I actually played this game the other day, and the engine has this as 0-0, right? Completely equal from this point. So, they take, we take the queen, but then they take the bishop, but on the next move, black actually resigned. So there you go, and now, got 4 harder ones. Okay, so this is the move that was just played. I'll just refresh it. We're in check. And the question is, what should black do? Can we capture the bishop? Pause if you need. Right? Now, what you should notice is the queen is bearing down on there, x-raying through white's own knight. And then the next problem is, if we capture the bishop, you have to look at the piece that's moving to reveal the attack. And what can this knight do? Well, you should notice that with the knight and the queen in this configuration, we could have, for example, knight to here or knight to here, both attacking the queen, right? And it comes with check by white's queen. So that kind of looks bad, but we can go ahead and capture. And the point is, wherever this knight goes, right, we can actually just drop our queen back to here and block the check. Okay, so we can get out of both issues with a single move. So I like that one. Okay. And this is very sexy. I love this puzzle. And again, from a real game. So, what do we notice? Well, the queens are facing off. Their queen is defended. Our queen is also defended, right? We also have a rook on e1 and a king on e8. So the really tempting move here would be bishop to here, okay? Your objective here is not simply to win material, look deeper for a winning combination. Now, so what else do we see? But you're like, well, that wins a queen, right? Surely. But, the queen moves back and you end up trading a rook for a queen, and that's okay. It should be enough to win, but that's not the point. And something that I'm really trying to practice at these times is honing my evil killer instinct. So the actual solution, do pause and have a good look at this one, because you can force a win. So the solution is actually, I think, bishop b5. Okay, now, this is a double check. And in a double check situation, the king must move, because you can't block both and you can't capture both attackers. So, but where can the king go? Well, he can't go anywhere on here because of the rook, and he can't go on this diagonal because of the bishop. Therefore, this move is forced, and now queen a5, check. Okay, and that's the only legal move, and we have checkmate. That's a lovely one, isn't it? Ah, alrighty. Yeah. I actually really fluffed up this this position. So I had the black pieces here, and it looks dire, right? White has just taken my bishop and is pinning my queen on the king. So I'm thinking, what can possibly be done? And I don't remember what I did. I moved a rook, I don't know, but I ended up losing the queen. But the point is here, this is a combination of, there is a discovery, okay? But it's also very much to do with the back rank mate threat as well. So you can take the bishop is the point. Because if rook takes queen, check, rook has to move back, we take, and it's checkmate, because the king is stuck behind his own pawns, right? Or if queen takes rook, we take back, they can't take our queen because then our rook that's on d8 will come up here and we've got the same problem. Okay, so this is actually winning for black, but I completely fluffed it up in the game. But there you go. You can't study these things too much. All right, so here I notice queen and bishop eyeing down on there, so I'm thinking of moving the knight. And this comes with check. and a fork and a threat of that. So knight to here. Oh no, right, there's the problem. Knight to here comes with check, but knight takes knight. Okay, so the move is actually this. Hitting the queen and there. So, yeah, white has to prevent queen takes h2. Check, here, mate. Okay, so has to actually give up his queen with something like, you know, g3, something like that. Or knight to here. Yeah, but either way we win the queen on the next turn. And there you go. That is my current selection of discovered attack drills. Some when you're doing the attacking, some when you've got to be tuned in, you know, from a defensive aspect. But I also said that I would show you how I make these as well. So I have a position here. Okay. Now, so black attacks the queen. So we're attacking their queen, they're attacking our queen. Queen moves back, is that correct? Yeah. So is this a discovery puzzle? Let's play it through. Okay, so their queen comes up. Actually, the best move according to the engine is this. So their queen now comes up, and this is the situation, okay? Because can you see the solution? Right? So their queen's just moved here in line with our bishop. So now we can, for example, move the knight here. We're attacking the queen, we're attacking this bishop, and our other bishop is attacking there as well. So I think queen, what's it saying? Queen b4. Ah, queen b4 check, trading off is the best move here. So this is, so after this move, yeah, knight takes e6 is the best move. The next best is actually knight f7. Yeah, actually, also it's just a different way to attack the same bishop. But knight takes e6 is even better because we get a pawn. Okay, so that's the solution. So what I do is I go back one move, I click the share icon in chess.com, go onto the PGN tab and take and capture the fen. Okay, so the fen is this snapshot of this position, right? So now I'll go back to here. Now I have to sign in. Okay, and now I'm going to add chapter E10, which means easy 10. Interactive lesson. From whose perspective are we looking? We're looking from white's perspective, I believe. Okay, so white, and we paste in the fen, and this is it. And the move that black plays is this. Okay, and now here I can actually give my hint. Okay, white can win material, for example, right? I can just type that in, and then you do the correct move, which is this. Okay, yeah, nice free pawn due to the discovery against black's queen, right? And there you go. And if I go back, then any other moves, right, you can do specific wrong moves. So here's a specific one. Also very good, but why not get a free pawn at the same time, right? So there you go. And then for anything else, okay, so I can go, this is the correct move, and then I can click in here and say any other, okay, yeah, find a free pawn, for example, okay? And that's just the general thing that it will tell you if you get it wrong. So there you go. Very, very interesting stuff. And I really think, you know, if we can get 100 of each of these and you go bang, 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 right, and work your way through until you can do 100 in 15 minutes or something like that, you will become so much sharper at spotting these particular patterns, you know. So this is the idea. You're really, really drilling the pattern recognition in your mind. So you're very welcome to... oh, by the way, we're also attacking this now twice with a fork. There you go. Pattern recognition for you. And it really is, you know, to me it seems like pattern recognition is what chess is all about. And so there you go. I mean, you can't calculate everything. Knowing these patterns and having them kind of burned into your brain pathways, it's just a huge shortcut to... Oh, we're also attacking this bishop, by the way. You know, look at that. Yeah, but the queen can come back and defend. Yeah, it just makes life a lot easier. So you don't always have to calculate. The patterns give you a bit of a shortcut, right? Just to shorten the process. So there you go. Yeah, so if you want to, you can go along and join Chess Boot Camp, $49 a month, for which you get 4 2-hour live chess sessions with me and James and Craig. And you also get a bunch of little resources as well that I'm building up for you. I've also got some private studies as well for endgames. I'm working through Dvoretsky's endgame manual with that as well. And of course you get access to the full library of probably at least 120, 140 hours of recorded live chess sessions as well. So yeah, if you fancy giving yourself an early Christmas present, then feel free. Come along. We'd love to see you. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.